today I am with Zach. Zach, please tell me how to pronounce your last name.
TAKACS. Yes.
TAKACS.
Technically, that's not 100% correct. It's Hungarian, so it's a little challenging. It's like TAKACS or something, but I've never had a Hungarian person really break it down for me, unfortunately.
I'm so nervous for some reason. Zach's like,
because you're too far.
What did I sign up for? I need some coffee. That's probably what it is.
I feel like coffee might give you a little more jitters, but
right, it could do that.
But it could. I don't know how it affects you. Maybe it calms you down.
Well, I did want. Okay, you're here today because you just got done writing a book. Can we please get a round of applause? Yes. Okay, Zach, where do I even start? Like, where does one even start asking questions about somebody who wrote a book? What has that been like for you?
Yeah, it was definitely challenging. It was a memoir, so it was about my life really from 2 years old-ish to about now. I didn't really know that's what I was gonna do at all. And then I went to our good friend Amy's speaking class. And as I was going through the coaching, she was like, just get really deep and really personal. And I was kind of like letting all these things out. And it was really incredible. But I also discovered a lot of new things like about myself through the process and about kind of the things I went through and like how that impacts my life now. And it just cultivated this like entirely different awareness that I just never, I always was like shielded up from, And then I was like, if you ever have a writing retreat, I'm super, super interested in going. And then she had one. And everyone's like first round of like when they read the writing was like it wasn't like generic or anything, but it definitely wasn't deep. It wasn't like super personal. A lot of it was just kind of like things they were working on with their business or whatever. A lot of people in there had businesses and they were trying to, some had coaching practices and they were trying to kind of work through that. And I just like went in this full story about like how my mom committed suicide. And I remember seeing everything. And then like it opened up this whole thing to just keep writing about it. And everyone from the end of the class was like, you have to write a book. Originally I thought it was going to be like a Hulu series or something like that. And I started the outline and I started writing like that. And I'm not a screenwriter and that's like a specific talent. So for me, it was just going through the process of writing the full story. And then kind of developed into this whole book.
Wow. So in a way, you've basically had to pick apart all of these different parts of your life to flesh out all the writing in the book. So has it felt like you've been reliving your experiences?
Yeah, it's definitely brought my emotions to the surface. Like I'll get teary-eyed during TV shows and things that just like kind of wouldn't happen before. I'm definitely feeling like a full range of emotions and like going back and thinking about something. And then it's also hard too, because you don't know if you're like remembering or remembering, like how many versions have I like, created in my mind, like trying to go back to this place and like in this time and stuff. So that part was really challenging for me, but I think just remembering that this is my experience and this is what I feel it was, even if some things are like sort of off from my childhood and stuff, I feel like it really encapsulates everything,
And that's really cool that you make that distinction because I think it's really important to be aware that sometimes our perception is not always reality or our memories can be distorted, like you said, especially when you go through something that, like traumatic, right?
Totally,
Would you agree that was traumatic? Because I feel like that was.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
And so how would you say that experience shaped you and made you the person you are today?
Yeah, I mean, it was a whole chain reaction of experiences, you know. It was like my mom dying, and then my dad just struggled with alcohol and addiction and like picked me up kind of on the weekends, but couldn't really get it together. And meanwhile, I had this older Black family that was babysitting me. They ran a little daycare out of their home, and they didn't want me at first because I was too young. They're like, we don't want any more babies. My mom like begged and begged and begged. And then my dad kind of just stopped picking me up. Like he just like wouldn't show up for weeks at a time. And so I started just getting raised by then. And eventually they enrolled me into school. Then my dad would come around and sign like the temporary notary for guardianship. And then they just, you know, took me on as one of their own. And I think it's really interesting because I really, becoming an adult, understand that you are very much a product of your environment. And I think I've lived that a lot more than some people. And I'm a lot more like my guardians, even though they're Black, even though they were so much older than me. Like I was 2 and they were 69 at the time. So like the generation gap of being raised by your grandparents is already something. And then like a whole entire different culture on top of it, you know? And I don't feel like I was anything like my dad. I feel like my dad taught me a lot of things where I'm like, I don't want to be this way, you know? Like I just got really good at remembering how things made me feel, the words people said, the actions they did. And then that really translated into like, I don't want to be this way. So just again, like building that awareness of like, if I'm ever in that position, like if I ever become a father or a husband or like even a manager, you know, like I've had bosses and stuff that I'm like, oh, that's, you know, I would never want to do that. And just being like really conscious and aware of like not replicating that cycle has been like key, I think, to forming like who I am now.
I think that's really unique quality because not everyone takes what they see and says, I'm not going to do that and actually not do it.
Yeah, it's hard for sure. I think it just takes awareness, you know? I think there's a difference between awareness and something feeling familiar. And I think the familiar option is always the easiest.
Yeah.
But then just being aware of like, well, this made me feel like that, and I don't want to make someone else feel like that, you know?
At UNLV, I took a class where I learned about high self-monitors and low self-monitors. And it's like a spectrum, you know? So some people have greater awareness than others, basically. So do you feel like that's just a trait you've always had? Or do you feel like you refined it along the way? Like,
yeah, I didn't really understand like where my awareness came from until a few years ago. I went on this retreat and there was this whole exercise, and it was like using everything that you identify yourself with as like a podcaster or what your job is or a mom or a sister, a daughter, son, whatever it is, and putting it on this bus, and then you're driving the bus. And then there was this like whole concept of what are you trying to keep off the bus? Like, what are you running from? What are you like trying to avoid? That is part of you. It makes up who you are, you know? And sometimes they're just not things we like to talk about or acknowledge that they're a part of us. And quite a few things came up for me. And I think one of the biggest things was like, I have this like overwhelming awareness of other people. And a lot of that came from like the things, you know, my mom leaving, my dad leaving. And then like, so every time an adult was in the room, I was like, well, what do they want me to be? Adults at that time liked kids who were quiet. So I was like, I'm not going to say anything or like express myself in any kind of way. I'm just going to like be quiet and follow the rules. And that's how it started. It became like this hyper awareness of everyone else because it's like a fundamental thing of like, you need adults to survive when you're a kid, you know?
right.
So you're going to do what you have to do to please them.
Right. You're going to do what child you thinks will help you survive and make it.
Yeah. So that's really, I think, where it started for me. I just got really good at like noticing like, and then that evolved like with my life. I'm like, okay, what do girls like in boys? Like, how are they, you know, how do I get a girlfriend? How do I become someone they like. Like that was always my thing, was like, I need to be what these other people like. And then I started probably when I was a like late teenager, late through high school, I started realizing like, okay, like what do I like in other people? Like, how do I like that this guy is super relaxed and chill. I like the way this guy communicates. I don't like the way this person does this. And then that's where I feel like I started piecing together who I was or who I wanted to be at least. And then every decision I made, I was just like, is this something like that person would do, you know? And it's really just traits from everyone. And I do feel like a lot of people are built on their environment. So it's like who you hang out with and associate, and like who you work with, like if you're at a toxic job, and like who you go to school with, like all of these things really, you know, piece together, I think, who you become.
Yeah, they really mold you for sure.
Yeah, because you're just around. And I think it's weird. Like you're always just learning like who people are and what they are like as you go. It doesn't really feel like a fundamental thing of like, I just know how to be a person, you know?
Seriously.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll even admit like, I don't really know how to act right now.
Yeah.
And it feels good to say that. It feels freeing, honestly.
Yeah. It's an awareness.
Yeah. I'm super self-aware. Like I get told like, oh, you're so aware. I'm like, I know. I hate it.
Did that come from like a trauma thing too?
I think so. Yeah, because I can relate to you on that, on like the awareness. And I guess I don't really like calling it hyper awareness because it makes it sound like a bad thing, you know?
Yeah, I was just thinking when I said trauma again, I'm like, I don't really like that term either because I feel like it's thrown around so much.
It's thrown around so much. And that's why, did you notice I was like, would you call it that? You know, because I myself find myself like steering away from using that word. But I guess we could differentiate it by saying like big trauma, like big T trauma, little T traumas.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's just experience too. Like I think that's where it started getting thrown around, is like these like little things that became harder, like, oh, that's trauma, that's traumatizing. And it's like you can have the best people in the world around you, the best parents ever, and they're gonna instill something in you that you don't like.
Right.
It's like not, I think people don't really realize how hard it is to like say, like no one is ever gonna love me exactly how I feel like I need to be loved. And sometimes I can't even express that or acknowledge or talk about it, you know, and just know I'm like,
even know what that looks like.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And they're, you know, parents are human too, and they have their limitations, and friends are, and everyone is just a human being, like also trying to figure it out. So it's
what a refreshing perspective, Zach. Seriously. So is Zach your full name?
Zachary.
Oh,
I really hated that name when I was a kid, actually. I oddly enough, I think I hated it because I felt like it was too white.
What?
Yeah.
Really? Wait, that makes sense because were you around what's the names of your caretakers? It was Woody and
his real name was Dwight. We called him Woody.
Oh, Dwight.
And then Therese. I called her Terry.
Terry, that's right. Okay, Woody and Terry. So would their family be around a lot? Or was it just you and them?
Just me and them. Her daughter lived in Philadelphia. He had a son too that I never really met too. I met once when I was like 18. But they all lived on the East Coast. They were the only two from their family on the West Coast. I grew up in like mostly Hispanic neighborhood too. So it was just like this white name was just like not, I just wasn't really feeling it. Like, it's interesting because I don't think anyone cared.
Oh, how did you, what made you think that? Like, did you pick up on something or?
Yeah, I don't know. I think I always just like, tried to probably create a perception of like who I was and who I lived with. And not like letting people either get to know me or like, you know, judge a book by its cover kind of thing. I was like really like trying to like mold everyone's thought of me.
Like you didn't want them to know what exactly?
I don't know. I think it was like I just didn't want to be seen as like a little rich white kid or something, you know?
Oh, you felt that identity didn't resonate with you?
Yeah. And they put me in a private school in
Oh,
elementary school. And it
nice.
was a small private school. There was like 70 kids in the school. And it was very unconventional, but there were some kids who had money in that school. And I just wasn't one of them. And I just like, I don't know, part of that is probably from my dad too. Like just kind of always struggling and living at like the budget suites around town and the Seagull suites and everything. And then like, you know, staying with him was always like a wild story of like someone breaking in next door or like whatever was going on. Sometimes he would like leave me for a few hours and I'd be on the balcony. Like it's weird because it's like I remember his reaction after the most. And then that's how I remember the story. And I noticed that a lot coming up is like a lot of my memories are remembering people's reactions. Like that seems to be what affected me the most to like trigger a memory.
Like their reaction to events that were
to whatever happened. Like my dad came home and I was like 4 or 5 at the time. And I was just on the balcony, like looking for him because he'd been gone so long. He was just probably gambling or something. And it might not even been that long because I was young too.
Right. Well, for a kid, it must have felt like a very long time.
Yeah. And we were staying at like some extended stay or something on Boulder Highway. So it was just like it's just not a good place to be. And he freaked out on me because I was outside like by myself. Like it was all my fault, you know? And I just remember
like it was all your fault.
I just remember that reaction so much. And then it like the whole story kind of follows after that. It's interesting.
Yeah. That was the last place I lived at before moving out of home.
Really?
Or whatever. Cute yet thinking, yeah, she ain't coming home. I've been listening to that, like, I've been listening to this group of rappers from San Diego since like last November. When did we have the writing retreat? When did we meet? Let's talk about when we met.
It was November at a writing retreat, right?
It was in October, but whatever.
October. Well, you said November, so it threw me off. I was like, oh, that sounds good. Our writing retreat, like a lot of people canceled, and then it got really small and intimate. It was just like at her house. There was like 5 of us, right?
Yeah.
4 or 5 of us.
Pulled up the next day, more writing. Remember when she had us ordering food and she was yelling at me because I was going too slow? Go, because I picked like a healthy kitchen restaurant and there was like too many modification options.
Yeah, you had to like build your own thing.
Yeah, I was like stressing everybody out.
Yeah. Yeah, everyone was kind of flustered at that one, actually. Yeah. I like that place. That was a good choice.
It was really good food. Look, all I'm saying is it was worth it.
For takeout food, especially, yeah.
What are some things that you do to stay fit now that we're on the health topic? Because, okay, what did you say you did before this? Please do share.
I ran 14 miles in the Red Rock Scenic Loop. I ran the whole loop this morning. I have a couple of partners and we just opened a hormone replacement therapy clinic here.
Okay.
So a lot of people are asking for like peptides, and which are like amino acid kind of building blocks, and they do different things to your body, but they're all injectables. And I'm terrified of needles. And like,
you're all tatted up.
Yeah, I know people say that, but it's so different. Like a syringe and a tattoo gun, it's like a totally different thing.
Okay, good point.
And it's like a little insulin needle, and like you give yourself a shot of like whatever it is, and essentially like high functioning vitamins. That's kind of how I like to describe it. And a lot of people are asking for them, and we just didn't have we just didn't use them. So I was like, I need a challenge to be able to use this and see if it works, like a fitness challenge. And I used to be an MMA fighter for like 8 years. I have no interest in going back to that. So I was like, what can I do like competitively? And running a marathon kind of piqued my interest. And so I signed up for this 50-mile ultra marathon in September. And I've just been kind of training for it and like documenting the peptide protocol and stuff like that, just so people could see like, this is my real reaction. This is like how I'm feeling. These ones are not working for me, this kind of thing. So if they're interested, they can like have a real playbook, you know.
So many birds, one stone.
Yeah.
I was going to say so many stones, one bird, but that's weird.
So many stones.
Backwards.
Yeah.
No, seriously, because not only are you doing something for your health, you're conducting like your own mini qualitative research study. You're promoting your business, because this is your business, right?
Yeah.
You have business partners you're doing this with.
I'm like partner. Yeah.
Your partner. That is so cool.
Yeah. Yeah. It's been a great incredible journey.
You're doing amazing things, Zach.
The memoir actually helped a lot with that too, because there's so many things that come up about like insecurities and just like, and I post like a lot of vulnerable content like that. And some people reach out and be like, I'm so glad like you're doing this. And other people say like, what's good you're doing it here so you don't have to carry it by yourself. And that's kind of not the point. The point is like, it's just normal to feel all these things. It's normal to feel like imposter syndrome. It's normal to be like, I have no idea what I'm doing. But the point is like to just keep doing it and just keep going through it, you know? And that's kind of like what I like about fitness in general too, is like sometimes it just sucks, but it's such an easy way to kind of embrace the suffering in a way and just like want out, you know, but finish.
Yeah. I'm inspired right now. I'm so inspired. Got to take a moment to just let that really sink in.
You're on your little fitness journey too.
I am. That's why this really resonates with me. I think ever since strength training, I've really just transformed as a person, both internally and externally. Your writing is really great though. Like you got to share little snippets of your writing with us at the writing retreat with Amy. And I think you did one writing pop-up, right?
Yeah. I like the writing pop-ups. That place, in my opinion, though, is just a little bit too noisy.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, I like the coffee shop vibe and stuff, but that one's just a little chaotic.
Yeah. I think it's part of its lore.
Yeah. There's like people, it feels like people are partying there at 8 in the morning, you know? But
yeah, I think that's why Amy likes it.
Amy likes it.
That's the reason.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's go ahead and move forward with some of the musical elements of the show. Dun, dun, dun. I don't know why I just gave it like a dark theme little sound effect, you know, like some
pressure.
Like I don't know, it was giving like vampire vibes, like Count Dracula. You ever see that?
I've never seen that.
Awkward.
You can edit it out though.
It's okay, I'll keep it. Okay, so I asked you some questions and you sent me such amazing like response. Am I surprised though? Like this is a book author. Like, hello. But I did ask you what your favorite song is.
Mm-hmm.
And you said it depends on what you're doing.
It does. Yeah, music has always been hard for me to like pin down like that because it's so... I really think it shifts your emotional state. And I think if I'm flying on a plane and I'm like thinking about something abstract, I think there's a song for that. Or if I'm like just feeling like I'm on my alone time, there's a song for that. But there's also a song that like gets me through hard runs and like, you know, hypes me up to go to the gym. Or like a fight walkout song. That was always something that I was like a lot of pressure to pick and like feel good because you want to like visualize the moment of like walking out. And
oh, wait. What is one song you've chosen in the past?
Run the Jewels.
Run the Jewels. Matt, can we pull up that song real quick? Okay, let's go. So you gotta visualize yourself.
You're like walking, like where's the ramp gonna be? Like
picture this, I'm a bag of dicks. Put me to your lips. I am sick. I will punch a baby bear in his shit. Give me lip. I'ma send you to the yard. Get a stick, make a switch. I can end the conversation real quick. I am crack. I ain't lying. Kick a line in this crack. I'm really fresh. I'm a mitch.
How long did you fight for?
Total like 8 years.
That's a long time.
Yeah. I thought, I walked into a Muay Thai gym when I was 19. Like 3 months in, I took my first Muay Thai fight. And then I was just doing Thai after that. And then when I was 21, I moved to LA and then I started doing MMA. And then 2020, I stopped. I was kind of done.
COVID?
I was done a little bit before that. I had a fight in 2019. And at the end of 2019, I was like just so burnt out from it. It's a grind and it's just a different mentality. Like you don't make any money and you're like, and I'm trying to like work a job and make money and do things. And like, I had 0 time. So it was tough to balance. And I think that comes down to like not wanting it enough, you know? Like I just did not. I was like, I don't want to be in the gym 8 hours a day and not making money too, you know? And I also didn't feel like I have the persona to like really sell in the long game, which is something I think a lot of fighters struggle to admit to themselves because it is entertainment, you know?
Oh, wow. I never thought of it that way.
Yeah. You can be the best in the world, but you still can get paid peanuts because you're just boring.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Personality is a big part of it.
Yeah. Well, because at first I was wondering, like, what got you into the sport itself? But then again, like, growing up with Woody and Terry, do you feel like you, like, grew up knowing things that were going to be good for you? Or do you feel like you just kind of figured it out on your own? Or did they give you, like, some type of guidance?
They were very traditional, traditional values. It's kind of something I talk about in my book too. Terry was a hard woman, and Woody was pretty nonverbal, like non-emotionally expressive. And I think there's a lot of like traditional masculinity norms that kind of plus all the things he grew up with. I can't even imagine. He was born in like 1927 in Mississippi, you know, like segregation wasn't even a thing until 1964 or something. So it's like I can only imagine what his childhood was like, but he didn't do any of the disciplining or talk or anything, but she was like very, very strict, very militant, like didn't hesitate to like use a paddle and like, you know, very, very corporal punishment and stuff. But she had these traditional values of like, you go to school, you get a good job, you get married, and you take care of your family. And then when you retire, you can do like whatever you want. And there was just something, I don't know what it was, but I was just like, that is like not for me. Like I'm never going to do that. One, I didn't really think I wanted to get married or have kids. And then, because I think about my dad a lot in that situation too, like, and like losing your wife and now you have this kid that you can't take care of because you're like, you have your own demons and there's no support system, and like just fell apart. And I was like, that again, like being pretty aware, like I was just like, the last thing I want to do, and fearful, like put someone else's like a new human being like in that position, you know, because I wanted to have a kid. So I was just like, her whole values of that just didn't really resonate with me. I wanted to be a professional BMX rider. That was like my childhood dream, like all through high school. I was barely going to high school because I was out like at the skate park riding. I was telling her I'm staying at a friend's house and I'd be in California for a contest. It was crazy. It was a fun time, but that was not something that she was having. She was not like, she's like, you're not going to make any money doing this. You're not going to like be able to support your family. And it all came from a place of love, right? Like her fear, the time period she grew up in, like, it was a thing in her day. She didn't have access to education like I did. And I'm sure she would have loved to take advantage of that, you know?
Yeah.
She was an incredibly strong Black woman and certainly the backbone of the household. And I think she did, you know, everything she could for sure. Yeah.
Wow. This is just so heartwarming, seriously, to hear about your experiences with them and just how your upbringing shaped you.
Yeah.
It's very cool. I'm really looking forward to your book.
Yeah, I just posted something on TikTok about like wanting, Woody passed away in 2020 and wanting with the current state of America to be like 31-year-old me to sit down with 70-year-old him and like just talk about it and just like, what is he feeling? Like, what are his thoughts on this? You know, like, it's just like, to me, it feels like we're reverting back so many years, you know, and like civil rights is kind of like being washed away, you know?
What do you think Woody would say about the current state of U.S. affairs?
Yeah, I think he'd be sad. I think he would just be, I mean, I can only imagine if he would have lived. He died a month before the pandemic, but just going through the pandemic and like kind of seeing everything, he was kind of getting a little mild dementia there towards the end, like just forgetting, some things, but he was 93 years old. So, I suppose it happens, but he, I just think he'd be sad. Yeah.
So do you still stay in touch with Terry?
I do. Yeah. She's, in Philadelphia now. She lives close to her daughter, who I became really close with. And she's 74 now, I think. So we had, big age gap too, but, technically that would be my sister,
Right.
But I try to go there like once a year at least, sometimes twice a year. Terry is a little hard to talk to on the phone. She can't hear well anymore. She has she has mild dementia, bit of delirium, so she's confused. She thinks like she'll see me and stuff, but she's always happy when I see her for the most part, Yeah. She's in assisted living and that's tough. She's not, sometimes she definitely, you could tell she wants out of there, but I live in California and can't afford a house to like, keep her in the back or something,
Yeah. I mean, this just makes me think about like things that you don't think about, like, are going to happen to you, as you're growing up. Do you know what I mean? Like taking care of your elderly parents. Like right now I have a really close friend who's taking care of her father-in-law who's, like getting to that state where they just slowly start deteriorating or like, slowly start dying. Like it's real.
Yeah, it's really, it's hard. I think like when he died, it was pretty abrupt. He had a heart attack. They were going to a doctor's appointment, like when he was getting in the car. And then cleaning out their house was just like an absolute nightmare. I mean, they've lived there like 50 years and they had champagne that was like expired in the 90s because they were saving it for a special occasion. And all these things just taught me like, one, I really don't want to cling on to things that much. I understand having some sentimental value towards things, but I really, it really doesn't matter. I mean, they had so many things they haven't looked at in 30 years, like why still have them? And the champagne thing really got me because I was just like, you're telling me for, 20, 30 years, you never had a moment of your life that you were like, this is a special occasion. Let's break open that champagne, and then just kind of like, I was like that as a kid. Like I didn't want to wear my favorite shirt because I was scared it would get ruined. And just like learning to be less like that. Like if I buy something and I like it, and even if I can't ever find it again, like I should get the value out of it and just like, I should enjoy it because otherwise it'll just be there,
Right. This taps into the idea of our mortality and how we're not going to take any of these things with us. We might as well enjoy it now while we can. Also, that I can see that being so impactful. Those champagne bottles.
Yeah.
Like what?
Yeah, it really like shook me a little bit. I was like, oh man.
So how long was that process of clearing out the house?
It was during COVID, so it was tough because
that's a lot during like COVID and then COVID right after. Whoa.
Yeah. It was tough because my Terry's daughter flew down and was staying there, and they were like, no one had any idea what was going on. Like, so I didn't want to go in the house. Like we were leaving groceries on the porch because the sun was supposed to kill all the germs, like it was just like a really wild time. And we were trying to be as safe as possible because they were so much older, and then probably like 3-4 months to clean it out. And then I drove them to Philadelphia from Vegas because they were too scared to fly with the pandemic.
Oh, wow. So road trip.
Yeah. We didn't get any hotels. We like limit rest stops as much as we could. It was a brutal drive, but
that sounds exhausting.
Yeah.
Like intense too.
Yeah.
Like no extended like breaks, just like trying to hit the road as often.
Yeah, I think I slept like 4 hours in the car.
The entire time?
Yeah.
How long was the drive?
It was like, it took me 48 hours exactly. Something like that.
No.
Yeah, it was
That sounds terrible.
It was bad,
oh my God.
Yeah.
How did you endure that?
Kind of like running, I guess, in a way, like just one more mile. I'd like used my gas tank as markers. I was like, okay, like, you know, you could drive 4 hours on a tank of gas. That's like what the van was on average. So I was like, okay, 4 more hours. And I'd fill up gas, like walk around for a second, take a deep breath. Okay, 4 more hours. And I just kept trekking along. Yeah, it was tough. But it's interesting too. I learned like if I do become a parent, I would certainly like have these conversations at a much younger age, like almost immediately. Even if I was married and didn't have a parent, I'd be like, this is where all my stuff is. This is my account information. This is like, because we just knew nothing. They were so secretive about everything. Like when they passed away, we were like, what do we do? You know, they have there's no will. There's just nothing.
Oh man.
Yeah. It's like they thought they were going to live forever, which is interesting.
All right, so let's see what you wrote about here. Let's go through this really quick, and then I have to. We'll end it with me sharing a song with you.
Okay.
Okay, so let's see. Right now you're between, because I asked you what your favorite artist and genre is, and you said right now you're in between hip hop and indie folk. You mentioned a band named Will Dorado.
Yeah.
Oh, did I say that right?
You did, yeah.
That you love to play when you're driving to work or riding before the sun is... Oh, wait, I said that backwards. Riding or driving to work before the sun is up. Wait, that actually sounds like a vibe, and I'm going to make note.
Yeah, it is.
Even though it's written here and I could revert back to this, I'm still going to write it down here.
I think utilizing the book you have open is important.
Thank you. Okay, let's see. You grew up on hip hop and pop punk. So that kind of raw punk or hardcore sound still has a place in your heart. Nice. New bands are bringing it back. I asked you, what do you like about music the most? And you said the way it transports you. It's so powerful. It can take you through a roller coaster of emotions in a matter of minutes. So true.
Mm-hmm.
One song can feel nostalgic or sad, and the next one can hype you up and make you think you're ready to take on the world. Yes, agreed. I asked, oh wait, did I ask you that? I did. Wow, that's a good question. Would you ever make a song? You said probably not. You love to write and you think you could maybe write a song, but you're really tone deaf and offbeat.
Yeah, I'd probably write lyrics to a song, but I don't think I'd record a song.
That's hilarious. What song has made a difference in my life? Ooh, that'll be the song that I share with you. But first, let's get through this. I asked, how do you build your identity? And we talked a little bit about this today, that you think we are a product of our environment. Oh, wow. That's an interesting point. So you think that this is so much to discuss. I'm going to have to bring you back on again. Like round 2. There's just so much here. Like the last 2 parts are so chunky.
When you sent me those questions, I was like, I really like the questions, because sometimes I struggle with like, I'm trying to do this whole content thing to promote the book. I think that's an important part of like getting publishing and stuff. And sometimes I'm like, what do I want to talk about? And sometimes it's so much and it's in my head. And I was like, wow, these questions are like really easy for me to answer in a very deep, in-depth way. So that was pretty inspiring for me. Those questions, good questions.
How would you say you build your identity? In a concise, shorthand way.
I think awareness.
Ooh, full circle moment.
Yeah, I think being aware of like when I'm overly emotional, like angry, or if I'm feeling jealousy, like whatever it is, not letting that dictate how I proceed with whatever I'm doing.
I just read the the full text. I feel like a lot of this you also mentioned throughout our conversation today.
Mm-hmm.
I also asked to share anything from your background or upbringing, and details about your book. Yeah, you wrote a memoir with the goal of shedding light on Black culture, particularly how they take in extended family members without any assistance. They were born in 1927. That was Woody, and 1929. That was Terry.
Mm-hmm.
You can't comprehend the amount of systemic racism that they must have faced, and still took time, or took in a little white boy who had no place else to go and raised you like their own. And you wrote that it was a powerful demonstration of unconditional love. Wow. So once you got into writing and remembered all the things that happened in your life and the trouble you got into, you started to learn so much about yourself. Writing then became powerful for you because it gave you a sense of control in a way. And you can go deep and choose to work on things and share them with the world, or I can just uncover them and do nothing. You said you can choose, but it's the awareness that gives you the choice. Wow. And right now you're looking to host some writing and physical activity pop-ups, kind of like how Amy does.
Mm-hmm.
And you think people are longing for an experiential community that can be empowering.
I do.
So what's that going to be looking like? Is that in the works?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm thinking I'm probably going to do the first one with friends, but probably friends that don't know each other. So it's like a still like new experience for them. And just kind of see how it goes, and then ask everyone for feedback at the end, like what can improve, what could be better. That's kind of the goal. I think I want to be an experiential. I just want to bring those experiences to people, because it was a retreat experience kind of like that really changed my life, like changed and just changed the way I look at everything. And I think it's just important. And I think especially with social media and how much people struggle with communication now, I think it's an important thing that, especially for guys, I think guys really need a space for it. But yeah, guys and like teens, that's kind of where I really want to host something, maybe like father-son retreats, that kind of thing.
That would be amazing. I remember you saying like you wish you could see more men in these sort of spaces. And so the fact that you're taking steps to create those spaces on your own is really amazing, Zach.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you so much for being a guest today. I am going to share a song with you that made a difference in my life.
Okay. Let's hear it.
Okay. So in a second, I'm going to ask Matt to play it.
When did it make a difference in your life? When did you discover it?
Ooh, you flipping the script on me. Okay. The song is called Limerence by Eve's Tumor. And it's spelled Y-V. Yep, there it is. And although the track on the album that it's on, which shows released in 2017, I'm not sure exactly when Eve's dropped it, but I heard this song in the fall of 2019, and it was the first year that I lived on my own. So picture me getting home from my food and bev job. I was a cocktail waitress at the Wynn at the time, going to UNLV, just making my way through college and getting home from a swing shift, getting off at like 2, 3 a.m., parking in these apartments that were so not a vibe. These apartments were right by UNLV, and if you from Vegas or you ever been to UNLV, you know what I'm talking about. Anyway, pulling up, park my car, light a little joint real quick, just like the cover of this album. Anyway, then I'm sitting there and I'm listening to this song and I'm like, what is this? Because, you know, I'm like, see, you heard that part? I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, I'm really all alone.
Look at the video.
Like, there's no one
It's
here for
recording
me.
right now.
Just me.
Babe.
And then I hear these
You don't want to be
voices.
on the motherfucking camera.
And I'm like, what? Is this a love song? And it in fact is. And just hearing this like
that for?
realistic, like it sounds like it's a video audio. Like it just put me in the space of like really getting to feel like the intimacy of this song, which is something that I was really craving at the time. Intimacy. Of any kind, because I was by myself, you know? And so this was right before COVID, as you know. And so when COVID happened, I'm talking about, oh, you guys are experiencing this? Like, this is just how I live. And everybody's talking about they're isolated and their life is fucked up. And I'm like, it was so validating. I'm like, no wonder a bitch was depressed.
Hard, yeah.
Anyway, thanks for playing that for us, Matt.
Thanks for sharing that.
Yeah. Thank you for listening. What'd you think about the song? I mean, it's a long song, so you'd have to like, you know, check it out on your own time if you ever so desired to. But yeah, what'd you think of this little snippet?
Yeah, I kind of feel like what you were saying. It kind of sounded like those little like sound bowls a little bit at the beginning, but the video aspect of it, I could see it being like, oh, this is like a real authentic. It feels authentic.
Yeah. Someone told me that it sounds like a Minecraft song.
I don't know.
I don't know either. Yeah. I'm like, I wonder if Zach does not know. Well, Zach, thank you so much. You've been an amazing guest. Like, do you have anything else to share? Do you have any feedback for me? What was it like being on Who Is All That? I mean, wait, Who Is All That and More? He is on Who Is That Be talking to?
It was good. It was good. I feel like you asked really good questions, and you I can't wait to see how it evolves, you know?
Ooh, yeah, I know. I'm so excited.
Yeah.
So this is Who Is That Be talking to? And today That Be was talking to Zach.
You got it.
TAKACS.
You would have gotten it.
I would have gotten it. I would have. I wanted to say it the other way. That's why.
TAKACS. I could be wrong, though.
Oh.
Some Hungarians might get mad at this, but
dang. If you're a Hungarian.
Comment how to say it.
Yup.
Yeah.
All right. And so let's just give the little plug in real quick. So please make sure to follow Zach on TikTok at Hungarian.haymaker and Instagram at Zach TAKACS. And I'll drop the links in the description of this episode. Yeah, follow Zach and can't wait for your book. Check out his book. What's the book called?
I don't have a it'll be a minute before I have like a solid title for it.
Stay tuned.
Yeah.